to the Elite Eight on the line here in Spokane. Winner will play the winner of USC Kansas State. That game up next. It starts here with Connecticut and Oklahoma. Here we go in the Sweet 16. Right away, Scott diving to the rim. Unable to finish. Good job by Fudd to avoid fouling. Easy Fudd, pull-up jumper, back iron off. Skylar Van hauls it in for Oklahoma.
You see both teams starting out in man-to-man defense. Both teams like to push the pace, get out in transition. So transition defense for each team going to be important.
And both teams very capable from the three-point line as well. Here's Beers. Over to Scott, deflected by Bueckers. Verhulst swings a pass inside. 7 to shoot. Beers wants a touch, pushed out. Scott with the shot clock fading. Can't hit the runner. Offensive rebound and a putback is good for Williams. Here's Bueckers. Pointing out the screen or pull-up, rims off, and Beers secures the rebound. Beers a three is good. A strong start here for the Sooners. Notre Dame and then Texas outlast a terrific effort from Tennessee. 2 games here in Spokane, beginning with this one between Connecticut and Oklahoma, and we're so happy to have you. Here's Scott, pitter-patter dribble, dive inside for 2 plus the foul. That game against Iowa in the second round was really the first time she feels like this group has played in a big game and delivered. It's given them a lot of confidence.
But this is an Oklahoma team that is playing their best basketball of the season right now.
Bueckers nearly lost it, now does. Here's Williams off the steal. Scott cross court has it knocked away by Al-Alfi, and then the freshman Strong comes down with it for Connecticut. Bueckers a three is good. Connecticut on the board, and it probably should have been a 4-point play opportunity.
100% that was a foul. She had her feet completely taken out from under her.
Here's Beers. Beers can't finish on the interior. Here comes Fudd. Fudd fakes the three, wraps inside, and reverses it in. 5 straight points from Connecticut and a good response.
Izzy Fudd has been aggressive, putting the ball on the deck. We've seen that throughout the course of the first couple rounds of the tournament as well.
Beers can't get the soft roll on that one. Here comes Bueckers. Bueckers pedaling into the paint. Bueckers can't finish but gets the whistle. You see Fudd taking some deep breaths early as Bueckers makes the first free throw. One of the things that AZ Fudd has talked about, you heard him that quickly played off the top of the broadcast, and Paige's teammates have talked about.
You need to look to score in this tournament, so certainly not what she did on that last offensive possession.
Verhulst gets denied by Strong. Here comes Bueckers. Bueckers, little shimmy. Jumper won't go. Rebound knocked away. Bueckers has it for 2. 9 straight from Connecticut. Into the game off the bench. Lexi Keys for Oklahoma. And that's a travel on Skylar Van.
Biggest problem this season, averaging just under what?
19
a game.
328th in Division I. There's only 360 plus teams in Division I, so obviously not ideal for an Oklahoma team that's number 1 in assists. Here's Fudd diving in, couldn't curl it in, but got fouled. AZ Fudd. Although Calderon technically didn't qualify. This game has been one of runs thus far. Oklahoma starts it on an 8-0, but Connecticut responds with a 9-0 run. Here's Keys.
Look at Reagan Beers surrounded by 3 white jerseys.
Scott able to find some space. This Scott of his last year with an injury, the senior from Houston. Fudd off on that one. Rebound secured by the freshman Zaya Van, who has really come on over the last few weeks. Has it taken away here by Arnold. Up ahead to Shade in the sunlight.
The energy on the defensive end for UConn helped lead to easy buckets the other way.
Ashlyn Shade, the Big East 6th Woman of the Year. A tie up here, and an offensive foul is called on Williams.
They're playing agitated, jumping up and down, and not being themselves. She said the ball has to touch both sides of the floor. We've got to move the ball. We are not making UConn work. We've just got to be more steady right now. She thinks they're too sped up.
Thank you, Holly, as Bueckers. Scott fakes the three, drives it inside, lost it. 6 turnover the quarter for Oklahoma. Here's Fudd, attacks the closeout. Bueckers wants the screen from Strong. Pull-up jumper is good.
He's having to guard Sarah Strong. That is a tough matchup for Oklahoma, especially in that two-man game.
Beers inside. Tough matchup on the other end for Sarah Strong.
Absolutely is, so you have to take advantage of it. Reagan Beers so good, using her strength inside.
KK Arnold wiggles into a whistle. In Connecticut history, up after Tina is the great Nafisa Collier. And Arnold. Verhulst hauls it in. Beers gets a good look. Leaves it short, and that's how the first quarter will end. 17-12. Connecticut leads Oklahoma. Start of the second quarter of this Sweet 16 matchup. Here's the freshman Strong. Giving it up. Bueckers. Bueckers gets fouled by Van, and that is going to be number 2 on Zaya Van, but has been able to stay on the floor, and now obviously goes to the bench with her second.
Yeah, she can be a really pesky defender, and important for Oklahoma on that side, as well as a dribble penetrator on the offensive end.
Brady off on the jumper. Scott the rebound. Sarah Strong yet to score in this game. Here's Verhulst. She got it.
She does not start the games shooting well. She does not care. She's got that shooter's mentality to continue to look for her shot.
Oklahoma had missed 8 straight threes as Shade answers with one of her own. A 41% three-point shooter, Ashlyn Shade. Van, great fake. Drives it, pulls, and gets the roll.
Verhulst's last possession, Van this possession, both able to score, but I thought on both instances, Reagan Beers had her defender sealed inside, and they did not give her the ball.
Connecticut throws it away. Here's Scott diving in, the Euro and the lay from Raina Scott, and a good start to the second for Oklahoma, leaving Gino Auriemma befuddled. Playing to 19, Connecticut leads. Fudd's three, she got it. First attempt of the day from 3 for AZ Fudd, who's now 10 for 15 from deep in this tournament. Williams on a great delivery from Beer. Here's Shade. Both teams finding a little rhythm now offensively. Bueckers accelerates through the lane, and it's stripped. Beers comes up with it after Scott got a hand on it. Verhulst from the logo. Oh my! A little 9-3 push from the Sooners. Brady, no. Scott gets fouled by Fudd, and that will be number 1 on AZ Fudd. All SEC second team, a very big guard who can shoot it and makes an impact defensively. A true 6'1". Here's Verhulst. Verhulst with size. There you go. Able to post and finish.
One of the things I love about her game is the physicality. She has a strong frame. You saw her use it there. Create a little bit of contact to get the space so she could finish.
Strong cradling inside. That won't drop either for Sarah Strong. 0 for 5 to start this game. Shot 84% the first 2. Verhulst on a heater. She said it was survive and advance in my backyard just like it is in this tournament. KK Arnold dips 3 and lays it in, a much-needed bucket. Kelsey, it has been an incredible day of basketball. Paige Bueckers 11 in the first quarter. Peyton Verhulst 11 in the second for Oklahoma. Nice play out of the timeout.
UConn's guards have done a terrific job getting on the offensive glass.
Here's Shade, she'll fire, and hit from 3. Ashlyn Shade now with 8. Our games today so far have all been great as Verhulst on the cut. 5-point Oklahoma lead. Here's Fudd. Leaning jumper, won't go. AZ Fudd been pretty quiet too. Bueckers can't hit. Strong finally.
They're trying to get Reagan Beers out of the paint as well.
And she spent a lot of time on her with Connecticut playing small. Verhulst handles the juggle. 2 to shoot. Scott has to launch it up. Nearly banks it in. Here's Bueckers. Strong left alone. Didn't take. Now Strong puts it on the deck and gets the whistle. Strong was hesitant from a good look from 3 at the start of the possession.
Only having 1 foul, that is a great sign for both her and Oklahoma.
Strong hits both free throws for Oklahoma. Connecticut has turned it over 8 times in the half. Oklahoma 11. Here's Beers, 2 come. Chen wanted to poke it. Here's Scott. She got it. 5th 3 of the half for Oklahoma. 4-point lead for the Sooners. A trip to the Elite 8 on the line. Shade gives it up. 10-second difference game in shot clock. Bueckers looked like she was grabbed. No call. Here comes Oklahoma with the shot clock turned off. The Sooners are going to take a lead into halftime. The question is, by how many points? Poked away. Scott lost it. 5 seconds left to operate. Chen dives in, gets denied by Verhulst, and at last hits Chen.
She's going to get done on both ends of the floor.
2.2 remaining in the half. Inbound, bounces free, taken by Fudd, and that'll do it for the second quarter. Oklahoma outscores Connecticut 24 to 15 in the second. Paige Bueckers 11 first quarter points, none in the second. Peyton Verhulst did not score in the first and had 13 in the second. One other thing of note, Paige Bueckers did not have a single assist in that first half. Jenny Baranczyk had told us, look, we understand Paige can score. We don't think we're going to be able to take that away. What we don't want is a 10-assist game from her. Well, that game plan worked in the first half. Here's Chen bouncing back door. Bueckers blows the layup. Alfie keeps it alive just momentarily. It's out of bounds off of Scott.
Only 5 assists in that first half for the Huskies.
Connecticut missing some good looks, too, in that first half. Here's Fudd. Off to Bueckers, wide open 3 is good. Last time Connecticut won an NCAA Tournament game when trailing at the half was 2021 in the Elite 8. Against Baylor as Bueckers comes up with a swat.
Paige Bueckers does not get enough credit for being a terrific defensive player.
Also averages more than 2 steals a game as Van splash on the jumper. Skylar Van, co-Big 12 Player of the Year a season ago, struggled scoring at the end of this year, but very productive the first 2 games of this tournament. 24 points, then 17, efficient in both as well. Bueckers again.
She plays drop coverage.
They dump it into Beers. Beers can't finish. Now Alfie the rebound. Bueckers pushing pace. Fudd weaving. Williams scrapes it away out of bounds. Here's Strong. Chen, good cut, extra feed. Alfie gets stoned. Then Chen keeps it alive. Chen diving in and hooking it home.
Other players and teammates who were there to support her, so she wanted to be there for Janet in this time to be a great support.
Here's Scott diving in and laying it home.
It was a great job by Miss Scott to attack the basket, get into the paint.
Bueckers, you bet! Paige Bueckers!
Paige Bueckers doing it on both ends.
Verhulst bounces in. Scott, good footwork. Can't quite finish it. Scott able to wrestle to the rebound. She was taking a lot of contact from Sarah Strong.
More space in the interior as they can have 5 out. Multiple players with the ability to make threes. No anchors inside.
Here's Shade, off to Chen, working behind Shade. Chen hits the deck. Fudd racing inside, lays it in beautifully. They have such an age gap. They never got to play together in their youth. Here in college, playing together for the very first time in just this season. As Skylar Van will graduate and move on. Meanwhile, Zion having all kinds of trouble. Bueckers off the steal, and Chen with the lay. An 11-2 Connecticut run, fueled by their defense here in this third. Oklahoma up to 16 turnovers for the game. Zaya slips, can't finish. Here comes Bueckers. Connecticut with numbers. Bueckers pull-up is good. Paige Bueckers taking over. Here's Todd, who's getting a lot of minutes in this game for Oklahoma. Beers faked the three and then turned it over instead. Was trying to get it to Williams, who was establishing position on the interior. Strong a three off. Flings it down the floor. Beautifully done. Beers can't finish it. Looked like she might have gotten hit on the wrist by Bueckers.
Yes, it did.
No call there. Here's Shea cupping it in with the left hand and a big swing. 10 points off the bench for Shade. An 11-0 Connecticut run. Verholtz can't answer there. Connecticut trailed by 4 at the half. Fudd kicks it out, Strong left alone, connects! Beers dishes out, Keys wants to go inside. Beers will try a three, no. Rebound Fudd. Shade with some space. Off to Bueckers. Bueckers dishing, Strong, the fake, the take, and the hit. It's a 16-0 Connecticut run. Beers gets a touch inside and finishes through the contact. As Strong, maybe push that button or flip that switch, for Paige Bueckers. It feels like later in this season, no one can stop Paige when she's in one of those zones, and she said, we need a nickname for it. Here's Bueckers. Bueckers looking to take Scott. Back ironing off that time for Bueckers. And Liz Scott the rebound for Oklahoma. Under 2 minutes to go in the third of the Sweet 16 matchup. Scott buries the three. Bueckers 21 points, 5 rebounds. Shade turns and banks it in. How good has Ashlyn Shade been off the bench for Connecticut?
Just a little flex cut action where you get the baseline screen, defender gets caught up, and Shade able to finish inside. She certainly plays bigger than her size.
Another Oklahoma turnover. Fudd pull-up three off. Bueckers tips it. Skylar Van in the corner, turns it over. Shade and then gets blocked. Here comes Oklahoma, nearly turning it over again. And a foul called on Ashlyn Shade.
I mean, this is one of those plays, and I don't know, did she get hit on the guideline?
I'm not sure. Verholtz might have gotten hit herself there, looking for the look out. Ashlyn Shade.
Ashlyn Shade coming in to crash the boards, and Reagan Beers going for the basketball, just hits her in a tough position.
Yeah, oh, that is a hard fall.
Yes, yes.
That is number 3 on Reagan Beers.
Ashlyn Shade's a tough kid. She's one of those ones, if she needs a moment to get up, you know that she took a hard fall.
Shot clock turned off here. 8 turnovers in the quarter for Oklahoma, none for Connecticut. Shade drives it, bounces wide open, Strong lays it in. A masterful third quarter from Connecticut. Saw TCU win a tight one against Notre Dame, then Texas hold off Tennessee, and Connecticut was down 4 at the half. 13-point lead, though, as they start the fourth.
And for Oklahoma to really make a charge in this one, number one, they need to take care of the basketball. As you see, a great entry pass that time into Reagan Beers.
Bueckers lobs it over to Strong. Catch, fire, short. Chen bats it alive. Now, Connecticut had just 8 total points in the paint at the half. They had 14 in the third quarter. Verholtz gets a touch there, but leaves it short. Beers trying to secure it, could not. Zaya Vans had a quiet day, gets fouled here. getting medical attention there and grimacing as she does. Certainly hope the best for Reagan Beers, one of the best bigs in the country. Verhulst lost the handle, 2 to shoot, flings it up and off. Rebound loose on the floor, corralled by Sarah Strong for 11th rebound of the day. Another double-double for Sarah Strong. Started this game 0 for 6, but has made 4 of her last 6 shots. Bueckers patiently reading the defense. Bueckers gets it back, will pop, and hit! Paige Bueckers up to 24 points. A 16-point Connecticut lead. On the glass, Strong commits her 4th foul. Strong with her 4th foul will be checked out for Jenna Alalfi, it seems. Reagan Beers, a little update now from Holly Rowe.
Yeah, she's headed back to the locker room right now. She is experiencing some discomfort on the back of her left knee. I saw the athletic trainer massaging it, and Reagan, when quite a bit appears. Oh, she's going to get on the bike.
Reagan Beers, an essential member of Oklahoma this season in the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2013. Beers 0 for 5 from the floor since the first quarter when she went 2 for 5. Bueckers twisting into 2 plus the foul.
To absorb contact and still finish on her follow through. Here, feet kind of kicking out to the side, shoulders square. She's feeling good about that one.
Bueckers with 26, tied her career high with 34. In her final game at Gampel Pavilion. You saw with Tennessee earlier today, where Kim Caldwell was constantly line changing and doing so in very short spurts. But Oklahoma will sub in 2 or 3 at a time in rather rapid intervals.
Great to see Reagan Beers back on the floor.
Verhulst can't get that to drop, and a foul. The contact there from Beers on Alalfi. Bueckers back to work. Bueckers again. 18-point Connecticut lead. They have answered the bell in this second half. Beers putting it on the deck. Rumbling inside. Gets rejected by Bueckers. Paige Bueckers, 6th tournament game with 25 points and 3 steals, most by any player in the last 25 years. Here's Bueckers using the screen. Bueckers, another 30-piece for Paige Bueckers.
If a team is playing drop coverage, Ryan, UConn can just set that middle ball screen over and over and over.
Beers flips it up, gets fouled by Alalfi, and will go to the line.
Strong is setting the screen. You're still putting that defense in all kinds of trouble.
The only UConn player in the last 25 years with multiple 30-point games in the same NCAA tournament. Scott hits the free throw. How?
But what she has done is get into this incredible routine for her body. Consistent training and recovering every single day. She does sauna, Pilates, blood flow restriction training, nutrition, sleep, hot and cold therapy. They monitor her biometrics and any asymmetries with a chip in her shoe. Her consistent body work has been next level to be playing this well and this healthy at this time of year.
And reconfirmed yesterday to Rebecca that she is entering the WNBA draft this season, where she's projected as the #1 overall pick. Thud to Bueckers, why not? She got it! Paige Bueckers has fully taken over for Connecticut. Scott nearly lost her footing. Can't hit the 3. Bueckers 1 point away from matching her career high. Thud driving it inside. Out to Chen. 5 minutes to go in the 4th. Connecticut has completely taken control of this game in the second half. Bueckers wants the career high. Nearly had it. You can hear the crowd anticipating it.
This is the second time in a row Paige has told her teammates, like, settle down. I think she's trying to catch her breath for a second.
Bueckers gives it up, gets it back. Bueckers 3. You bet! It's a new career high for Paige Bueckers. 36 in the Sweet 16.
Just so she could get a few extra seconds of rest before then going to get the ball and searching for her shot.
Oklahoma without a field goal this fourth quarter. Paige Bueckers the only player with one. Bueckers has another. What a dish from Strong, and Bueckers has 38. Scott, no. Rebound. Williams hustling hard after it, crashes into the media table. Bueckers bounces out. Strong gives it back. It's a 40-point night for Paige Bueckers. A Connecticut record for an NCAA tournament game. Paige Bueckers has outscored Oklahoma by herself by 14 in the second half. Here's Strong, a 3, short. Shannon can't flip it in. Here comes KK Arnold, and that will do it for Paige.
Coach Arietta doesn't give her 5.
A UConn tournament record 40 points for Paige Bueckers. Maybe 50 gets the high five from Gino. Had built a 4-point lead at the half. Here's Verhulst twisting inside, can't finish it, and a foul here against Connecticut. First time she has fouled out this season. As Beers hits the free throw, played this season. The heights they have soared to, which they have not seen in a while.
Create your own shot, kind of a talent from the guard position. That is what Chavez brings to this team. They are going to be tough in the SEC and nationally a season from now.
Brady can't hit the jumper. Verhulst the rebound. Dump it inside. Williams twists it, finishes. As a personal overall, she's another player who will be back for Oklahoma next season.
She's a player, too, I think has a really high ceiling in terms of the gifts she has at the offensive end of the floor.
Skylar Van will be done at this level after this game, getting to spend this season playing with her younger sister as Verhulst gets that 3 to wedge in. But it has been all Paige Bueckers and all Connecticut in this second half. Ashlyn Shade, a big contribution off the bench in this one. Fudd short on a 3. Coming on a minute to go in this game as Williams lays it in. The Connecticut fans rising to their feet here in Spokane as Fudd Connecticut can dribble this one out. A career night from Paige Bueckers and a trip back to the Elite Eight for the Connecticut Huskies. 82-59 the final.